Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a polygel set on my dominant hand and here's the inspo photo. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to start by cleaning up my cuticles. I'll be doing a wet cuticle prep using Sally Hansen's cuticle remover. I'll just apply a drop and rub it into the cuticle area, letting it sit for about 15 seconds. And after that, I'll use a cuticle pusher to gently push back and remove all the dead skin from my nail plate. And once I'm done, I'll wash my hands with soap and water. Next, I'm going to trim my cuticles using a cuticle nipper. This is just for aesthetic purposes and it isn't necessary for retention. After that, I'll clip my nails shorter so that my natural nails don't show underneath my gel extensions. I'll also file away any bumps or ridges from clipping using a glass hand file to smooth everything out. Then, I'll buff my natural nail plate using a 180 grit buffing block to remove all the shine and any leftover gel from my previous set. I'm going to spray some rubbing alcohol on my nails to remove any dust or oils. And then I'll use the Model 1's dehydrator and primer duo, starting with the dehydrator to cleanse my nails of any impurities. After that, I'll apply a thin layer of primer, making sure not to get any on the skin. This step is optional, but next I'm going to go in with the Jello Peel Off base. I'll apply a thin layer, making sure to cover every inch of my nail. Then I'll cure it fully in my lamp for 60 seconds. For the tips, I'm using these ones from Una Gela on Amazon. They're extra long and work really well on my nails. If you haven't tried them out yet, I definitely recommend them. To find my size, I'm going to place the tip on my natural nail and make sure it fits perfectly from sidewall to sidewall so that it's covering my nail without overlapping onto the skin. Since I used the peel off base coat, I'm going to flash cure the tip onto my nail using gel base coat, but you can also use the same peel off base coat if you'd prefer. If you didn't use a peel-off base coat, you can just use regular nail glue. Just make sure to apply the tips and shape them first, and then go in with a dehydrator and primer before continuing. Anyway, after I flash cure it onto my nails, I'll fully cure it in my lamp for another 60 seconds to make sure that it's fully set. These tips are a bit too long, so I'm going to trim them a little shorter and try to match them to the length of the inspiration picture. Next, I'm taking a 180 grit sanding band and using my e-file at 3000 RPM to blend the tips into my natural nails and make that transition smoother. I'll also file the tips to remove the shine, and this will just help the polygel stick better to the plastic. I always go really slow with this, especially when working on my non-dominant hand because I'm not super comfortable holding my drill with my left hand. So that's a tip for using your e-file with a non-dominant hand. Just take it slow even if it means working a little bit longer. And also resting your arms and wrist on the table really helps with balance. Another thing you could try to do is keeping the file steady and doing most of the work with your dominant hand. I usually do a combination of both, keeping my drill steady and then moving my nail around. It really just depends on what I'm comfortable doing in the moment. So I'm starting off by using a 180 grit hand file to shape the nail tips, and I'm going to make them crisp around the sidewalls and straighten out the tip. Some dust ended up collecting on top of my peel-off base coat, so I'm just going to wipe it off with some rubbing alcohol. Next, I'll apply a layer of gel base coat on my natural nails and the tips. It doesn't matter what brand you use as long as it's regular gel base coat, and this will just help the polygel adhere much better. Next, I'm using two polygels. One is clear and one is light pink called Floral from a cart. I hope I'm saying that right. I'll have them both linked down below under products used, or you can find them on my Amazon storefront, which I'll also have linked down below. I'm also spraying a little bit of my rubbing alcohol into my glass dish to use as my slip solution. This is essentially 70% isopropyl alcohol and it works really well for molding polygel. I'm starting with the thumb using Le Corral. I'm going to apply the polygel from the free edge all the way down to the bottom, and this will be my first bead. As usual, I'll gently pat it down and disperse it around, making sure it reaches the sidewalls while I'm trying to smooth it out as much as I can and just trying to disperse the product more evenly. And once it's all spread out, I'll blend it into my natural nail to prep for the next bead. If you're wondering why I'm only doing one hand today, it's because my pinky has a stress crack and I really can't work over it right now. So I added a layer of rubber base to my nails and I'm just gonna let it grow out a little bit. In about a week or two, it should be grown out enough. Honestly, I don't mind giving my nails a break, and I thought I'd just practice a bit this week since I haven't done a polygel set in so long. According to my YouTube timeline, the last time I did a polygel set was about 3 months ago, which is insane. I've really been focusing a lot on Gel X and I haven't really been posting enough polygel tutorials. tutorials, so I figured why not practice it today. Polygel was actually the first thing I got into, and I definitely don't want to lose the hang of it. I was struggling a little bit in this video, but anyway, after you finish the first layer, scrape off the excess and cure it for 60 to 90 seconds. I usually go for the 90. Then you can go in with your second bead, which will be your cuticle bead. Gently pat it down into place, leaving a little gap between the cuticle and the gel. Don't go straight into the cuticle yet. You just want to disperse most of the product around the nail, and once that's done, you can start pushing the gel towards the cuticle and the sidewalls. Make sure not to press too hard on the free edge though. You want to keep that part elevated because that's where your apex will be. The apex is crucial for adding strength and structure to your nail, and it's especially important if you're working with longer nails. The longer your nail is, the higher the apex needs to be to keep it strong. So yeah, today's application was a little bumpy, but that's okay. As you can see, my apex is lacking a little bit. I haven't done a polygel set in a while, so it's expected. It's gonna be bumpy and not perfect, but polygel is super buildable, so we can just go ahead and apply another layer or another bead, if you will, directly on top without wiping off the sticky inhibition layer, and then just mold it around, and that does the trick. For my middle and ring fingers, I used pink polygel, and for my pointer and pinky, I used the clear. I didn't choose white polygel because in the inspiration picture, the white looked more like a jelly, milky white color, and my white polygel seemed way too opaque, so my plan was to just use clear and add a couple of layers of milky white gel polish, which I think will match the inspiration picture much better. Once I filled in the apex and smoothed out the nail, you can see from the glare that it's not as lumpy as before, so I fully cured everything, and don't forget to wipe off the sticky inhibition layer with either alcohol or acetone before filing. I did the other nails off camera because I wasn't really in my zone and I was just struggling, so I thought it would just be best to do it on my own. Now let's jump into the filing. Today I'm using an 80 grit sanding band. I'm using my nail drill at 12,000 RPM. I don't really like to go any faster than that because again, my non-dominant hand isn't that steady, so I prefer to just keep it at a slower speed for more control, and if I slip, it's not going to be that damaging. I start by moving back and forth up and down the nail until I've smoothed out any lumps and bumps. When I'm working on smaller nails like my pinky or my pointer finger, I try to mix up my filing technique, doing both side to side and going up and down as well. And when I get to the cuticle area, I like to lower my speed to 4,000 RPM and gently go around the cuticle to seal it in, making sure that the polygel is flush with the nail. Once I've shaved down most of the bulk with my e-file, I switch to my hand file, which is 180 grit. I use it to file the sidewalls and the tip of my nail. I mainly use my dominant hand for this, and I like to rotate my hand a bit so I'm not filing in a straight line. I just file towards the center of the nail and give it more of like a rounded shape instead of like a square one, which would happen if I file it in one motion. I hope that makes sense. And I repeat this process on each finger. So besides the hand filing, I think the most important step is buffing. It helps get rid of all the scratches and smooth out the entire nail, especially if you're using an 80 grit sanding band like me. Seriously, don't skip this part. It really takes the nails to the next level. Make sure to buff the entire surface, including the cuticle area, but focus most of your attention on the center of the nail. Then after filing, I like to wash my hands with soap and water to get rid of any dust, especially underneath the nails and around the cuticle area. Then I spray my nails with some rubbing alcohol and wipe them clean to remove any oils before applying gel polish. For today's color, I'm using Milky White from D&D. I'll link everything I'm using in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. I applied 2 coats, curing each one for 60 seconds in between. For the French tips, I mixed Bright Honey and Perfect White from Madame Glam. I definitely recommend mixing polishes from the same brand if you can. Bright Honey was a little bit too warm for what I was going for, so I definitely needed to tone it down. But in the end, I got the perfect yellow shade that really matched the inspiration picture perfectly. But before I went in with painting the French tips, I made sure to apply a matte top coat over the pink nails first. This helps prep the nails and create a smoother surface so my line work doesn't end up streaky. I cured it for 60 seconds, but if you don't have a matte top coat, a glossy one will work too. It just needs to be any type of top coat. Now I'm using a 20mm liner brush to paint my French tips. I start just past the free edge of my natural nail and work my way up to the sidewall, creating the smile line. Once I have the outline, I go ahead and fill it in with my brush. There are definitely different ways to do a French tip, but this is the method I'm most comfortable doing, and I've been doing it for so long. Luckily, I had just enough polish to fill in all the French tips, and I thought this color looked so good. And once you're done your French tips, just go ahead and give it a full cure as usual. And now I'm going to work on the 3D flower using Makart's 4-in-1 Glux Gel in clear. I think I've gotten pretty good at picking up 3D gel without actually touching my skin with it. So if it looks like I'm doing that, don't worry. I did not touch the gel at all. I am like a master at this now. But obviously if you want to get handsy with it, make sure you're wearing a glove so you don't come in contact with the gel. It's still uncured gel, so you can't touch it with bare skin because that could lead to allergies. But anyway, I'm going to use a silicone pen for all the work. I start by taking a glob of gel and placing it directly on my glass dish, then roll it out really thin and cut it into 5 equal-sized pieces. After that, I roll each one into a ball. Then you just want to pick up the balls and put them on your nail in a flower formation. Picking up the balls without touching them is a little tricky, but I find that if I just place my nail directly on top of them, they kind of just stick to it perfectly, and it just works. I squish each ball into a flower shape. The flower is really simple. Just squish the petals and that's it. No extra steps or special technique is needed. And once the flower is formed, I cured it in my lamp for 60 seconds to make sure it's all set. I'm going to be using Valentino's white gel polish in shade 045 to outline the flower. Honestly, this was one of the hardest parts for me. I was definitely holding my breath trying to get this just right. For the outlining, I carefully traced the petals and then I took some of the leftover white to create a few streaks in the middle. The streaks weren't too tricky, but the outlining part was just so stressful. I was just so glad I got it done when I did. But once you got it down, cure it for 60 seconds. And then I applied some caviar beads to the center of the flower. I put some rhinestone glue in the center, and then I used my liner brush to dip it into the rhinestone gel. And then I dipped that back into the caviar beads, and that picked them up. And this trick was so easy. No need to pick up each caviar bead one by one. I also added some rhinestone glue, and I added a pearl along with some caviar beads, and just cured that in place. And to seal everything in, I finished off with a Koopa top coat and cured it for 90 seconds, and I was done with that nail. Alright, so now onto the chrome isolation part. First things first, I'm going to go in with a gel base coat. The one I'm using is from Madame Glam, but honestly you can use any gel base coat that you have, it doesn't matter. After curing that base coat for about 90 seconds, I wiped off the inhibition layer using either acetone or rubbing alcohol. Then I went ahead and buffed the entire nail for around 30 seconds. I find that that's usually enough to get a smooth surface for the chrome to not stick, and it works every single time. Next, I grabbed a non-wipe overlay gel. I'm using this one from Sweetie Nail Supply, and I went ahead and I applied it in a circular pattern. Honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. You can make it as irregular as you'd like, it doesn't matter. And once I was satisfied with the shape, I cured it for 30 seconds. After that, I took some gold chrome powder and rubbed it onto my 3D pattern. I ran out of sponge application sticks, so I ended up using this small cube sponge with some tweezers, and it worked just fine. Then I used a clean sponge to go over the design and remove any excess chrome powder, and as you can see, it didn't stick and it was all perfect. I cured that for another 30 seconds to finish the cure, and then added some no wipe top coat from Koopa to seal everything in. I actually applied top coat to all my nails off camera, but my phone died, so I couldn't record it, but just go ahead and do that and give it a full cure. And for my ring finger, I did my best to replicate the 3D design as seen in the inspiration picture. I created 4 streaks just below the smile line of the French and dragged it towards the bottom of the nail. Honestly, I wasn't happy with how they turned out, but since this was a practice set, I didn't want to redo it so many times and waste product, so I just kind of went with it. But I will say that I was practicing this on a practice nail after finishing the set, and I realized something interesting. Using a shorter liner brush like 5mm or 7mm actually gives you skinnier lines and are much more like the inspiration picture. I'll try to insert a picture right here, but basically the end result looks a lot better when you use a shorter liner brush. So if you're recreating this design like I was, definitely try using a shorter liner brush instead of a long one. It'll give your 3D French design a much more sleeker and cleaner look. It'll look so much better if you just use a shorter brush. On my pointer finger, I did a similar streak design using the 3D gel, but this time I went with 6 streaks and I made them all connect towards the left side of my nail. I also grabbed larger amounts of gel because the streaks in the inspiration picture looked pretty thick, so the 20mm liner brush worked perfect for this. Honestly, this part was a lot easier than the 3D French, in my opinion. Once I laid down the streaks, I cured them to hold their shape and I was all good to go. Finally, I moved on to the thumb, where I created the same streak design as the French on my ring finger, just 4 streaks connecting down to the middle. I actually really liked how this one turned out more than the ring finger. The whole design turned out to be so much easier than I expected, and I just went ahead and added some pearls and caviar beads around specific nails, especially the pinky. For that isolated chrome, I placed the beads on either side of the circle, and I added some pearls and caviar beads on my thumb using rhinestone glue. It really brought the whole design to life and gave it a magical touch. I'm not sure if rhinestones were used in the inspiration photo. It's a little bit hard to tell because the contrast is really low, but I still think it looks great with just the caviar beads. That said, I do think that a few small rhinestones would have been a nice pop of shine, so that's just something to keep in mind for next time. I'm going to wipe my nails clean with some rubbing alcohol. Even though it's non-wipe, I just like to make sure everything is squeaky clean, and after that I'll apply some cuticle oil to replenish the moisture back around my cuticles and my surrounding skin. I'm using the rose cuticle oil from Blossom. It smells so good. And here are the finished nails. They turned out so cute. Honestly, I kind of just wish this wasn't a practice set because now I really want them on my other hand too. If only I could work on that hand. But overall, I'm really happy with how they came out. I love the shape, and while I feel like I can improve on the 3D designs, I'm still pretty satisfied with how this polygel set came out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one.